Buddy, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How's it going? So we got a pretty good crowd going already. Channel member Rex, channel member Dan, channel member Nikki, channel member Bob, Ivan, Rob, Sergio, Ted. Welcome to the show, Don, Amy, and everybody else that's here, that's a subscriber, that's in the chat. If you want to be in the chat, say hey, talk to me, ask me questions, click the link over here, be a subscriber on the channel. A few seconds later, oh, my eyeball itches. A few seconds later, you can be on the stream chatting. And remember, today, Tuesday, guess what that means? 30 minutes of awesome, 5 p.m. Eastern time. I'm doing another live stream where I take your requests. Like, I don't usually do requests in the morning, but on Tuesdays at 5 p.m., I do take requests. We call it 30 minutes of awesome, 30 MA. But usually it lasts 30 minutes. Well, it used to last 30 minutes. Now it's at least 30 minutes, and usually it's an hour and a half. I try to stay till all the questions, all the tickers get answered. But sometimes I do get hungry and ready to go. Doing this stuff does take a lot out of me. General Rush, good to see you, sir. Hopefully everything came out okay over there. I know you weren't in the mountains, but I heard you had a property up there, and hopefully everything is doing okay for you. And Kimberly is here. Oh, thank you, Jim, for becoming a channel member. Dun, 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 dun. Thank you all for the support. And welcome to the show. We will have... I was thinking about doing a special member-only show once a week, maybe, that... I was thinking about, like, the top 50. Like, grab the top 50 stocks and just go through them and throw out my expectation once a week, maybe. Maybe once every 2 weeks. I don't know. They don't change that often. So let me know what you think about that. And that'd be member-only content right there. Becoming a channel member is not very expensive. Anyway. All right. It wouldn't be like trades. It'd just be like running through the top 50 charts. I just rip through them, give you what I expect on them. And it's probably be the top 50 by options volume. So you can let me know on that thought. It's not really trade alerts. It's not really anything like that. It's just, ripping through top 50 charts. And so those are going to be the big names. I mean, Mag 7, are going to be in there for sure. And then lots of other stuff that's highly liquid, SPY, QQQ, all that sort of stuff. I just ripped through it. And, this is like an idea I came up with. So, top 50. Anyway. All right. Yeah, Ted likes it, so cool. All right, let's see. Pitter patter, let's get at her. Let's jump into some of the content. And all trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance not necessarily indicative of future results. This presentation intended to be informational, educational, fun, entertaining. It is what is not a recommendation to be buying or selling anything. All right. Don't buy stuff from gurus like me. Don't buy stocks, options, bonds, forex, futures, cryptos, treasuries. Don't long them. Don't short them. Don't trade them. I mean, come on. There's substantial risk of loss, right? Make sure you have a game plan. If you desire personal financial advice, make sure you hire somebody you trust to give you that financial advice. It's not me. I'm not here to give you financial advice. I'm not here to tell you what buttons to push. All right? Be very, very careful. If somebody doing what I do is telling you what buttons to push, be very, very careful. Very careful indeed. All right? Yeah, that's a dangerous game right there. Anyway, looking at the calendar for this week, we have welcome to October, right? Here we are. Last quarter. There you go, Jim. Cool. All right. There's been no restriction. I don't know. The only restriction I have is being a subscriber. And a lot of people just aren't logged into a YouTube account, I think, is the problem. Anyway, here we go. Today, October 1st. Get these Jolt job openings stuff. I don't really expect big moving off of that. But, yeah. Hopefully it's not October. It's Uptober, right? Hopefully we get Uptober, and especially in crypto. Hopefully. We'll see. They've been blasting it out for a month on social media. It's been pretty funny. So anyway, then tomorrow, Wednesday, 8:15, we get non-farm employment change, ADP. we'll see there. Then Thursday, we get unemployment, final, and some services PMI, and all that stuff right there. And then on Friday, we get the jobs report. Last month, they admitted they made up like 1 million jobs, and they weren't exist. They just didn't exist. So we'll see what happens there. We'll get the unemployment rate on Friday, and we've got a sprinkling of Fed members speaking. They're already hyping a 0.5 point rate cut the day after the election. Another, so it'd be like a full percentage point in 2 FOMC meetings. I don't know. I mean, you tell me. I think with the China stuff, the headline here today, the title, China buying gold like crazy. There's been a mystery buyer buying 400-ounce bars of gold from London. They're working through brokers, and nobody knows where they're actually going. Nobody's disclosing. They're buying all the 400-ounce bars that come up for sale in London. That's kind of wild, right? I mean, think about it. That's a big... Somebody's buying a bunch of gold, and that's physical bars. So they're taking them somewhere and storing them. That's a bunch of money. Bunch of money that the true buyer hadn't been disclosed. And then also with China essentially printing 5 trillion yuan, investors are using that borrowed money to buy the China stock market, and they're using their money to buy gold, invest in gold. So this is interesting. We might see gold take off. The opportunity here. Now, as I've said for a while now, the bigger opportunity to me is in this baby right here. Oh my gosh, this thing's gonna be laggy. What is going on? Silver right here. Look at that. We did make a higher high. We did. Right there. Little pullback. Maybe even echo of this pullback right there. Right there. That would be spicy. So look, you got this pullback, this pullback, this. If we do the same one, it's an echo, baby. And we can expect a move up. For those of you that know the echo trades pattern, that looks like echoes right there. Right there. I mean, look, same, very similar. We get that. Oh, I drew that one a little big. That same kind of pullback over and over and over in silver. So watch out for the pullback. We could rip. Let's just clear this off. We've got so much stuff on that chart. So look, here, very basic right here. That's what we got. That upside target, we're looking at 33, 34, 36, 40. I've said 40 for a long time. 35 and 40. That's basically where they come from, 35 and 40. And we'll see what we get. Now the bigger pullback over here. That high, this low. You can see 33. Let's put them on log mode. That's where it looks best. There's your 35 and 42. So 35 and 40 showing up again right there. That's why I've been pretty excited about it. And it has potential. Oh my gosh. The potential for this thing is ginormous if it can do it. Because look at this. Look at this pullback over here. 60, 70, 120. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. That would be a massive, massive upside potential on silver. And we go look at GC. You're like, but wait, if silver has that opportunity, look, gold's already on the path for that correction right there. We're already getting up there. 2,800, 4,200, 5,000. We're already getting up in this 20. We're almost to this 2,800 area right here. Yeah, 3,000. It hit 3,000 in a blink pretty easily right there. And my fibs may not be even perfectly on there. So 3,000 would not surprise me at all. You store those gold bars in your garage. Yeah, the funny thing about gold is when it disappears, you don't know where it went. You can't track it. Untraceable. So that's you know, gotta be careful out there, especially if you're messing with gold. All right. Once it's gone, it's gone, and then they can melt it down, and it doesn't look anything like it did before. So S&P yesterday was interesting. We got to that. Anybody remember the conversation I was having yesterday with you on the smaller time frame here? I said something about 57.70 and 57.50. Anybody remember this? Yesterday morning? Me drawing these long arrows? Look at that. Why did I throw out the trade I threw out in Discord yesterday? It hit both my alerts like back to back, almost like very, very fast right there. Very fast. Cleared those two alerts. I was like, and then I looked at the candle and it was like ripping back. Jumped down the time frame. Got the zoom over here. Watch. Sometimes when we hit those alerts, it was like boom, and then boom, hit that alert. And then I looked at the candles. I was like, oh, I dumped my XSP short. Went long on TQQQ. Why TQQQ? Because it was so far below the target compared to S&P. Right there. When we go to SPX, we look at the daily chart. Come back to current. We hit the target, right? This pattern, the pattern I'm always talking about. We don't need the statistics. That was the entry. There was the target. We got the target, right? NDX though, NASDAQ. Load, baby, load. There we go. The buy was here. We're short of the target. We didn't get the target yet. SPX is there. Where's the opportunity? NASDAQ. Boeing hitting the... So TQQQ, leverage. Be careful on leverage. I always warn about leverage. Be careful. That opportunity was here. If the market was going to bounce, if it found support, it was going to turn yesterday. There was the opportunity. Look at that. That is ginormous potential. We're talking about 28, roughly 28% potential upside. All about hunting these potentials right here. Especially as we get down to the last bit of the year. You've only got 3 months left to fix your year, whatever your year has been. I know some of you are crushing it. Some of you still waffling. Some of you underwater for the year. This is the time to focus on the best of the best opportunities. Turn it around, fix it. Whatever it is. Icing on the cake. Getting above even. Erasing the losses. Whatever it is that you need to do. You need to focus on the highest probability. The best of the best looking setups. Quit chasing down all the rest of it. This is not advice. This is my game plan. All right. I'm really focusing on where the best of the best opportunities are into the end of the year here. So NASDAQ has that opportunity. Rock and roll. Now, there's lots of stuff that's kind of sketchy. Like all the AI stuff. I don't know. Including NVIDIA. I don't know. All those semiconductor ETFs. I don't know. Though that sector may be cooked. Like it may be done. We may not see outsized upside. China stuff ripping back. But it probably needs a pullback. Can it keep going? Sure. But it kind of needs a pullback. So you got to be careful. All right. Be careful chasing these. This NASDAQ chart has kind of the best opportunity right now. Russell here. You're like, well, I'm just not sure though. This made a high and it was a lower high, and this is not looking bullish. This gives me really almost heartburn on the price action here for Russell. CL, probably going to do that dip. Remember what I said a couple months ago about the incumbent team? It may be that simple. Maybe that's simple. And then I added in yesterday, 87.5% of the time, when the stock market's up in the 3 months before election, the incumbents win. I don't know. Gold here, potentially turning the bottom. That news about Chinese buyers was all over the place last night. May take us higher. Bitcoin took back last Thursday's pop. We just arced it right back. If we can hold support here, great. But we may go retest the roadmap line here. That may have been the break above. We got to retest. Come down here. We want to hold it if we do. And break out. Break out above here. That's the move we need to see right now. A dip and rip out of the top of here. Get up through that downtrend of highs. Maybe like, wait, JT, what are you talking about? Downtrend of highs. Zoom her out. Check it out. This high, this high, this high, this high, this high. We're at lower highs. This started in March when we got really excited after those ETFs came out, before the halving, and we've been consolidating. Lower highs, including the one we made last week on Friday. Got to break out of this cycle. Yes, it was higher than this high, but that's only 3 waves so far, and it's still a lower high than this high. We need to break higher. Need to break higher. Gotta get it. So upside potential 75 and 81 if we can get through this resistance zone up to about 69,000. So if we can get in the 70,000s, we're probably cruising on up. And it may take a dip and rip to do that. You have to dip it right down here, back down to almost 60,000 before we can rip it. That would be my ideal spot right there before we do the next correction and cruise on up to possibly 6 figures. All right. Time-wise, we're getting to the end of the time where I expected this. I expected us to start the rally in October is where I kind of expected it. By November, by Thanksgiving, I expect us to be well on the way, making new highs. Right there, that's 220 days after halving. That's usually when we're breaking out, making new highs. So right here, right in there is where I expect it to really start going. By that, by Thanksgiving, essentially, in the U.S. All right, dollar, still chopping around down here, finding a little spark today. I mean, some people say it puts pressure on the market to be down. I don't know. I don't find this highly correlated. I find it more correlated to gold, silver, things like that. But even today, not really. I don't know. It's more of a currency thing. And this is likely to go test this support at 99.70. And then if we break that, push on down to the mid-90s. And that could take us out here to somewhere in the middle of next year. Before we do that, we may get a little pop and a dip and a pop and a dip. Could take us out to the middle of next year. And the GLD is crazy. I don't know. I don't know that it has a psychological problem like being crazy. NKD, try to break out, retest the roadmap line, pushing back out. If we break higher, game on, 44,000 up here. I kind of want to see it. I think this breaking on higher is going to be positive for the U.S. markets. Very positive. So I really want to see that, get that extension. And this low, this high, this low. Yeah. Definitely. 44, 45. That's the target area. All right. Well, what's popping? What's dropping today in the U.S. markets? Well, not much. Wasn't much at all. And let me make sure I've got this list refreshed. Right, SITC. Whew. Well, that went from being up to being down. It was on the poppers list and just did that. Whew. Dang. Went from 59 yesterday to 17 today. Ouch. Ouch. AYI. Let's see. I wonder what I picked up in the pre-market. Let's see. Let's turn it on. And gotta go down. Time frame. Go to extended hours. I don't even know what it picked up. Doesn't show. Wonder why they picked it up on the poppers list. Definitely not a popper. That's a dropper. Anyway. Tools. And so what I do, I go pull pre-market movers up and down. And there you go. That'll be a members only thing, Lisa. So you have to be a channel member to get that top 50 thing. And boom, right up through. Look at that. Rallied up, figured out, fired off the entry, retraced back to the roadmap line, and boom, right up through the targets. If you're in it, consider booking profit. That's played out for now. We may go up to 312, but I also kind of expect this to retrace again. It's kind of the way this works. That high probability thing is done. And team, that's still bearish. That's lower highs. All those things I was kind of talking smack about on Bitcoin. Be careful. We're still under the roadmap line here too. So this can definitely go lower. Had support down here before. Maybe where we're heading. We were in this channel. Tried to break out the top and then broke down through the bottom. And this may not be done yet. We may go make a lower low than this low back here. Does not just have to go higher. Nothing ever has to do anything though. And COHR, pushing on up. There's the bounce. Look at how this ping pong's like down. There's a few very common things we see. This one, tried to break out. Nope, couldn't do it. Retraced to the 618, held support, and boom, right out to the targets. Right there. Bingo, bango. Nice one there. Google. Came up today so far. Testing the breakout there. Aggressively, if we move up through that 169, 170 area, you could buy. We do have that resistance where we gap down right over here. I've drawn it a couple times now. We have that resistance right in there. Be careful. Got to get through that. So you could buy here aggressively with a smaller stop down here. That 618 level hanging out right there also. And then you've got the target up here at 199, but we've got to get through this zone. You know, there's a couple gap downs here. Big gap down here. Got to get through that. So Google's got some stuff to work through. That's the long and the short of it right there. Could it go lower? Yeah, absolutely. It could bounce right off of this zone and come right down in here. So that's the... If we bounce down, if we stop in this zone, anywhere in this zone, we stop there, turn down, rally up here, turn down. We can easily come down here. 115. See those targets right there? Ching. Right in there. Perfect. DDOG. I'm not saying it's going to do that. It just, there's the potential and possibility that it does. DDOG right there, bouncing off a potential, that gap up. Kind of retested the top of it. We did not fill the gap. being underneath the roadmap line, there's still opportunity that we do actually go fill that gap before we find support and turn higher. So watch out. Watch out there. Firm line of resistance right there, along with the roadmap line right that we're holding below for the last 2 months. Lots of resistance. Roku, look at that. Potential to bust through. Got this gap down we got to get through. But potential to bust through. Set us up to rally on up to this 123-ish area. Let's just go ahead and clear that and make a new fib line. Right here, right here. Got the downside target. So we've got that gap down in there. Break through it. Yeah, 121, 134 on the upside right there. SN. Well, that's just Shark Ninja. Man, I saw this awesome slushy machine they've got. You know, like you go to the gas station, they got those like barrel slushy machines, like Shark. Or I guess it's Ninja. Ninja brand has one for the home. I was like, oh man. And somebody was putting Mountain Dew in it. I was like, ooh, baby. So anyway, decliners, Apple. Remember what we kind of looked at? How one of the charts up here, that common pattern I was talking about, where we might come up here, right near the breakout, retrace back to the 618 before we can actually shoot out to the targets. It's kind of what this one's looking like. Up here, back to that, back up here. And we do have opportunity to come on down to the roadmap line down here. Could come back down here before we can pop up there. It's working through some stuff. Now, can the NASDAQ just go higher without Apple? I don't know. I think Apple breaking out maybe take us higher. You know, Google definitely GLL. This one's definitely kind of being lackluster here. Now, Microsoft also being kind of lackluster, right? We rejected that area. Could go lower. Why am I focusing on these? Because these are the ones that basically take NASDAQ higher. These are the majority of NASDAQ right here. That one, having a lot of trouble. Amazon, not really getting it. Came up, we may retrace back to supports before we can turn it and go. So these are all causing me to wonder about it. And when we look at the market cap, we got Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, Alphabet, Amazon. Like those are the ones we're kind of waiting on to take us higher there. You know, some of the others that have been performing, like Meta, that's up there at the targets. Due for retrace. Netflix, it's up there at the targets. Tesla has a huge opportunity, though. Coming into this robo event, getting close to the real breakout here. That resistance zone, we get above that. 287, 300, possibly that 350 target up here. I've been looking for this to finish up right there. Where'd that come from? Came from the move off the lows over here. Now, when I was talking about the downtrend of highs in Bitcoin, this is kind of the same thing I'm looking at. This downtrend of highs started back here in November of 21. Lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. Tried to break out, retraced, did a 618 retrace, measured bounce. This sets us up for potential up to 350 right here. And if we get really spicy, 500. But I kind of expect, here's what I expect here. Big retrace. Back down, test this area right in here before we can get up here. So resistance here, retrace, and launch. I am long Tesla right now. So that's kind of like tying in those Mag 7 stocks and Mag 8. I threw in Netflix just because, I mean, Netflix is nowhere near the market cap. Oh, thanks for ads. We look down through here. Netflix is way on down the list at 42. Lots of stuff bigger. But it's fun to throw it in there because it's always been a FANG stock, right? So I'd probably go pull like the top 50 of these for the idea I was having and just run through. You know, I would skip, you know, international stuff that's not US stuff. Like this one and this one. This one. Oh, that was crazy. Probably skip those. Just go for the US stuff. But interesting, right? I mean, obviously, silver's not gonna be in the list. Saudi Aramco, and gold. Like physicals, Bitcoin wouldn't be in the list. We'd just be doing stocks. So, alrighty, and look, that's interesting too, though. Like, look at that SPY and IVV hitting the tops. VU, that's basically Vanguard's version of the SPY. This is iShares. You know, this is BlackRock's version of SPY. So Spider is the biggest dog, but BlackRock runs their own SPY. That's IVV. Vanguard runs their own SPY. That's VU. And they're all up here in the top. I think that's pretty interesting, really, because not many people talk about IVV and VU. All right. Moving on. Moving on. Where were we? Roku? I already talked about that, didn't I? Yeah. SN. We already talked about Apple. Cirrus. Back to the roadmap line. Clear this baby off. RTX. Firing off sell. Looks like it hit the target. So we've got this high. We've got this low. Right there. 152 would be if we bounce up, get through the 136. 152 would be the place we were looking for. So we're looking for this to hold support at the roadmap line and turn and burn. And if you want the roadmap line, you want to know how this works, how this orange thing works right here, link is in the description. $5, you can get it, or you can click on the channel homepage right underneath me here. My name, my logo. Click on it, go to the homepage, the video, or my favorite indicator. It's got some arrows right to that orange line. You can watch that video and learn how to work it right there without spending anything except a few minutes of your time. And STTK, ooh, cha-chow, right down to the lows. Can that hold? I don't know. That's almost a dumpster fire right there at that price. That's the classic IPO retrace bearishness. Now this could be, we could be reaffirming the bottom here before we turn, but it also could go out of business. So be careful. BA. Dun, 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 dun. Cruising on down. Almost to the 148. This was my ideal target right here at 157, 158, you know, this 155, 157, 58 area. But when we did this little move here, it set up this potential to come right down in here, maybe as low as 140. So now we're waiting for this to form a reversal pattern. That's what I'm waiting for before I say we're on the way up to like 600. It's got the potential, but I'm not sure that the bottom's in place yet. Not sure yet. SWKS. Skyworks. And it's funny, there's a, what do you call them? The boom lift company in town here in Knoxville called Skyworks. And I'm like, oh, every time I see Skyworks Solutions, I think of that boom lift company. But this is software, not, or in semiconductors, not boom lifts. And that's just a big sideways choppy hot mess that I would not mess with right there. I'm not really interested in this because this looks like it needs a lower low, possibly lower than this to clean this up. So we may make a low lower than this. This looks like a potential 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that would flush this out. One more lower low. All right, the bonus trade for today, LOGI. This thing pretty smoking. Now, we have the bigger correction in here. Let's just clear some stuff off. Got the bigger correction down to the roadmap line, move up, and a retrace again. So what my tool found is this little potential here. We closed above the 618 right there, retracing a little bit today. It's okay. No big deal. No big deal. Here are the statistics, though, right here. Cha-chang. Let's make it bigger. So we have a new potential entry. That 89.73 close, which was above the roadmap line. We're getting a retrace today, so you have a lower risk to reward, lower risk, higher reward potential than $4. This thing, look at this, 93.75% of the time. Wow, with a 9 profit factor, pretty smoking. Now, here's the little bit of downside: 64 days on average, and there's only 16 trades since 1997. So, not statistically significant. It's not a statistical significant population. It's only half of one, which 93% kind of means garbage on something that's not a statistical population. All right. Now, while this is promising, don't put a lot of weight on that. All right. Everybody got me? You understand why? If you don't, it's okay. You should take some statistics right there. But anyway, we do the best we can. That's worked out in the past for quite a while. It is set up now. Getting the retrace. Once we turn back higher, at 93 target up there, actually 94.09. So I don't have my fibs quite on the candles properly. Looks like I'm a little shy right there. 94. Oh, yeah, right there. 94.09. So that's the target. If you decide to enter this and take it, and let me know how you do in the future. This may take a little while. 64 days, 64 trading days, not calendar days. Don't just go out 2 months and buy some options. So let's look at this. Here's the entry today. 64 trading days on average. That's 93. You're gonna have 3 months of options. Now that's the average. Easily, this could last twice the average. Easily. So that's like, now we're looking at 128 days. Just right here. Went a little far. Right there. So we're looking at 6 months this could take to work out. You may be like, well, wait a minute. 180 days is 6 months. Yeah, that's weekends. You got to have weekends in there when you're talking about this far. It's 128 trading days, but you got weekends in there. So possibly it takes 6 months for this baby to get from here up here. You gotta make a decision if this is right for you and your accounts. It's pretty good. Now, the bigger pattern could play out. This right here could play out. This one right here, that's the one I'm talking about. So we could head on up to 105 instead of just 94. It's 105.84 could play out. We're gonna have to get through that 95 area though. So to get to the 94 target, we don't have to break the 618 of the bigger one. So this is why you got to keep in mind which pattern you're playing. All right. If you're jumping in here trying to get the bigger target, we still have that significant resistance at that 618 right here that we're gonna have to break through to get up there. So keep it all in mind. If you jump in on this one, be careful. Actually, it looks like that was a lower low, just barely. So watch out for that 618 resistance right there. And remember, could take a while. All right. Bias for the day. Bias for the day. Let's see what we're doing. Ooh, retracing the whole move up. We might go down. I did like the fact that we bounced off that area yesterday, but now retracing it pretty deep. If we break the low from yesterday, we're going on down a bit lower. Now this could be 5 up right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This could be a deep retrace. As long as we hold a higher low, this can project us pretty far up right here. Of course, this data is lagging, so I am behind by 10 minutes. This could shoot us up to 58.70 right here. And oil's up. Not really much though. It's not a breakout. That's not anything right now. It's just a little retrace on the potential. Not really any, like, zoom out a little bit. We did dip. Didn't make it all the way down. Didn't make a lower low. Resistance still up here. So there's not really nothing to talk about in oil yet. That candle doesn't mean anything so far. Didn't make a lower low. Didn't break out. Didn't break down. Still just inside. So sorry, Frank. I mean, maybe the small move is what you're looking for, but on the big picture, that's nothing so far. Just another day in the range. There's the resistance. There's support. Stuck in the middle. More of the sideways. Let's check out NASDAQ. Ooh, that broke down lower low. Reset it on NASDAQ right there. Bum, 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 bum. S&P holding a higher low so far. Yeah, so USO, I'm going to make bigger profits when we actually go cruising up here. I'm in 2026 long position, but we're going to have to get up here. Actually, I use UCO. So here's the giant potential here. This low, this high, this low. I'm looking for this monster move. Oh, that was cool. Not even sure what that just did. Super awesome. Super awesome. There we go. I think I did that the other day. Looking for this thing to pop out up here. It says 58 area. And then if we do the bigger move, now this is does do splits and stuff, but if we do the bigger, even bigger move, this is where it gets really crazy. This low, this high, this low. Look at those numbers. Crazy. Crazy numbers. Not saying it's going to do it, but the potential's up there, and it's just really nutty numbers. Maybe it should be not on the log scale. 71.85, possible. Craziness. Those are crazy numbers. That's why I've got it out to 2026 right now. So as long as I can go. Maybe they introduced the 27 options now, but they didn't when I bought my position. So I need the big move. Like, that's where I'll make the money. I don't play big size on a small move for XLE. That's just not the way I trade. So, all right. Remember, 5 p.m. today, 30 minutes of awesome. Come back, see me. I need people to show up so I can do the show. And have a great day, everybody. We'll see you later on. I'll be in Discord, hanging out, watching for trades.